What is going on, people? It's Matt from Liquid Loans, and in this one, we're going to be diving into impermanent loss, and is it as scary as it sounds? So with no further ado, let's go. Impermanent loss can sound kind of scary and confusing, so let's find out how it works along with how to be an educated liquidity provider. Liquidity providing is important because it allows trading in DeFi without too much slippage, as well as opportunities for fee generation. For example, when Pulse Chain and Liquid Loans launch, you'll be able to provide liquidity on pairs such as Loan PLS, USDL PLS or USDL loan and earn some nice fat juicy fees. But in order to do this safely, you must understand impermanent loss and how to avoid it. Impermanent loss is a temporary loss in value occurring when two assets that you provide liquidity for change in price relative to each other. An extreme example of this would be if you provide liquidity for BTC and ETH and the BTC price went to zero while ETH still had a price value. If this occurred, buyers and sellers would use your liquidity pool to sell all of their BTC for your ETH. As a result, your pool would convert to 100% BTC at a price of zero. Ouch. A liquidity provider, or LP for short, is an entity that decides to lock two tokens in a liquidity pool to allow for other users to swap tokens using that pool. For example, a liquidity provider could choose to deposit 1,000 loan tokens and 1,000 PLS coins into a liquidity pool on PulseX. By doing this, the LP is agreeing to allow other users to swap loan tokens for PLS coins or PLS coins for loan tokens within a certain ratio. LPs are incentivized to do this despite the risk of impermanent loss because of the fees generated every time somebody swaps in their pool. For example, let's say a user wants to swap 1,000 PLS coins for 1,000 loan tokens using a pool with a 0.3% fee. The trader will be able to do so, but the smart contract will deliver a 0.3% of the 1,000 PLS, which equates to 3 PLS to the liquidity provider. Impermanent loss, just like most concepts in crypto, can seem daunting at first, but it's actually very easy to understand. So let's continue with the PLS loan example. Let's say on September the 1st, the price of the loan token and the PLS coin are both $1. Now a month later, on October the 1st, the price of PLS stayed at $1 and the price of loan rose to $1.5. If you had held 500 loan tokens and 500 PLS coins without providing liquidity, your tokens would now be worth $1,250. If you had provided liquidity, you'd now be holding 408.25 loan tokens and 612.37 PLS coins, which now would be worth $1,224.74. The result would be an impermanent loss of just over 2%. So in other words, you'd have more value if you had just held the tokens without providing liquidity. The goal of a liquidity provider is to generate as many fees as possible while mitigating risk of impermanent loss, and there are two ways to avoid this. First, choose two digital assets with highly correlated prices. Liquidity providers often pair two stablecoins together, and a hypothetical example would be USDL and LUSD. If the prices of the two assets do not change relative to one another, there is a 0% chance of impermanent loss. The downside to this strategy is stablecoin fees are lower and there is less trading volume compared to other pairs. Second is single-sided liquidity. Liquidity providers will often only put one token into a liquidity pool to avoid impermanent loss. For example, a user might put 1,000 loan tokens into an LP with 0 PLS on the other side. If the price moves through their pool, they will be left with only PLS and no loan. Therefore, theoretically, there is no impermanent loss. Rather, this acts as a buy order for PLS while generating fees and avoiding slippage. Impermanent loss is possible with stablecoins if the stablecoins you hold lose their peg. To avoid this issue, make sure you choose stablecoins that have strong redemption mechanisms and are worth less than the collateral backing them. For example, USDL and LUSD are stablecoins which will always have more than 110% collateral in the form of PLS and Ethereum, respectively. They have built-in redemption mechanisms which ensure that $1 of the stablecoin is always redeemable for $1 worth of collateral. Additionally, USDC, USDT, and DAI all have consistent histories of holding their peg to $1, although the underlying collateral is less certain compared to USDL and LUSD, which you can verify on-chain. Overall, if both stablecoins hold their peg in your liquidity pair, LPing with stablecoins can be a safe way to earn yield on your dry powder. So, to sum it up, impermanent loss is a temporary loss in value for a liquidity provider occurring when the two assets that you provide liquidity for change in price relative to each other. Liquidity providers are a necessary component of a healthy DeFi ecosystem. They're important for facilitating trading between digital assets and setting prices, but you must be aware of the risks of impermanent loss when setting LP pairs. You can avoid impermanent loss by being an LP for two stablecoins, which, although will have less trading volume compared to other coins, can be a low-risk way to earn LP fees. Another way is to provide single-sided liquidity, meaning you only provide one side of the pool that certain dexes allow. And impermanent loss with stablecoins is possible if one or both coins lose their peg. So choose stablecoins that have a strong redemption mechanism and are worth less than the collateral backing them, such as USDL or LUSD. So I hope you enjoyed that video on impermanent loss. Drop a comment below, let me know your thoughts and if I missed anything out. And if you like content like this, do hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you're notified every time we drop new content on the channel. You can also tap the like button, share the video with someone who you think it may benefit. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.